Fossils and all sorts to be found in Lyme Regis once again. Hi everyone, it was looking like we wouldn't get a video out this week, but as you can see, my voice is better than it was on the live show a couple of weeks ago, so we can make a movie, and we're going to, and this place always delivers for us. So we're going to take a look along Lyme Regis Bay and see what treasures we can find today, because you never know what's going to turn up in this location. We got down here yesterday morning, got up at 7, and at 8 o'clock booked ourselves a spot on a caravan park just 2 miles away, and we're there for 2 nights. So I'm not pushing myself too hard. I'm having a good recuperation and rest time, but part of the recuperation is hunting on the beach. So let's go.
So here we are back at one of my favourite places in the UK. It's absolutely stunning whether the tide is in or out. And of course behind us there are all the cliffs that are eroding and giving us all the wonderful finds and the exciting fossils. Look at that sky. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. So come on, pop your wellies on, we're going in. Ooh, that's murky. Lots of seaweed. A little step. Step up. Oop. Let's see if there's anything in the water before we get started on the beach. Lots of colours and textures. Very pretty. But not the sort of finds I'm hoping to find today. So let's say goodbye to the shore and hello to the beach. I would say since we last came, somebody's had a bit of a clean up, because a lot of the beach there that used to have bits of metal rods and things are not there anymore. So I think somebody started the clean up, but there are still lots and lots of metal bits to be found here. We've got the back of a light switch, the most ridiculous things, and just a piece of angle iron. We've got a bit of car. What do you reckon that is? I think perhaps a wheel went there. What do you reckon, all you people who understand mechanics? Does that look like something off a car, or am I completely wrong? And as we wander along, there's the usual assortment of coloured rocks and stones, little bits of broken metal, and bars. There are always bars here. We never fail to find lots and lots of them. Hello, Mr. Johnson. Have you found anything?
Yes.
Oh, let's have a look.
I have some bits of glass.
Ooh, very nice. very decoratively displayed.
There's a nice, some nice shapes. They're always lovely smooth glass down here. Look at that lovely bit of green.
I'll turn this way and then the sun won't be there.
Yeah.
It's lovely, isn't it?
And of course, slate.
Yep.
Well washed, nicely
You do like
shaped.
the slate.
I do. And what would a visit to this particular beach be without one of these?
Oh, wow, an ammonite fossil. Look at that.
Broken on the edge, but still clearly visible.
Very nice.
Nice sharp one, isn't it?
Our first one of the day.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Let's carry on hunting.
You've got all this thick, gloopy mud that's all dried. You can see why it's so important to stay away from the tall cliffs, because when this slides, you won't outrun it, and you're definitely not going to survive being covered in it. I think we're pretty safe here today because this has already moved and dropped, and now it's drying out. It's when it's been raining and all the water washes underneath it and causes slurry, that's when you're really in trouble. So let's have a look. Oh, looking down straight away, look. Is that interesting or not? Let's have a look. Oh yes, look, it's a fossil. It's amazing how many you find without even looking that hard. We'll clean that up and show you it on the live show. Don't forget our live show every Saturday night, 9 PM, where we clean up our finds, have a chat, have a quiz, and a lot of fun. See you there. Oh, look at that. I wonder what that's off. It's a leaf design. I think perhaps off the front of a clock, something like that. We'll keep looking because something has obviously snapped off the top there. Whether it's still here, I don't know. So we'll have a little wander along. See what we can see. Nope, I don't think that's part of it. If you go back and compare some of our old videos from here, you'll see just how little there is here compared to what used to be. What's that? Oh, a piece of white. And a piece of gorgeous amber, look at that. Isn't it amazing? It's only glass, but it's so beautiful. There are the unstable cliffs right up there, and this is the mud and gloop that's come off them. And most of it is just boring now, but there's this little piece of metal. Now I know you may say, oh well, metal's a bit boring, but I just wondered what that is. What could that be? Some sort of, you fix that to a wall and fix something to it. Another crazy guess. What do you think? One day I'll pick something up and say, I know what that is. I can see little bits of metal up there, but nothing worth scaling the gloop for. This is one of the things I love about coming to Lyme Regis. You can't take these fossils home, not unless you are very strong. But there are fossils in the most obscure rocks. You're just wandering along and you find more fossils. And some are small, some are huge. I'm sure we'll find a lot more as we're wandering along. another mystery object. It's metal, it's heavy. I think that is an electric hot plate, an electric, whatever you would call it, off an electric cooker. What do you reckon? I think the rings are part of the little element that was inside. Oh, that's quite good, because I think I actually know what that is. On the other hand, am I wrong? Let me know. Right, I can see some metal over there, so let's go have a look. It's a big boiler, or a water tank, cold water storage perhaps, from one of the houses that has slowly had its land eroded and then unceremoniously ended up on the beach. There's a lovely piece of old jar there. Isn't that nice? Shame it wasn't whole, but it's nice to find. What have you found, Mr. Johnson?
I found some bits and pieces.
All right, let's have a look.
I thought that was quite an interesting bit of scrap.
It looks like a pot, and there's a handle.
There's a rim there.
Yeah.
Possibly the type of handle that would have hung in a fire. So you'd have a hook round that to hold it.
That would make a crazy gnome, wouldn't it? Put a hat on it and a beard. That could be his nose. Keep that.
Keep it.
Keep that. I think we'll have some fun with that.
Oh, righto. I'll do that. What about that one?
Oh, that's nice.
A lock plate, I think.
Yes. Oh, look, the mechanism's all in the back of it. Oh, that is lovely. Sorry if it's not far enough away. There we go. Try that. Look at that. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, I like that. It may clean up nicely too. Oh, knowing you, it'll stay rusty nicely.
You can't get much more nicely than a rusty thing.
Right.
And I have those there. Back in the mail.
Excitement.
Now I picked this up just because we have found that pattern at the dump just down the road from our house.
It just goes to show how the pottery that was available then was available right throughout the country, whereas much earlier pottery, you would have only had one pattern that was local to the person who made it, and it very rarely travelled very far. So there we go, that is a bog standard common pattern.
Oh, can't say bog standard.
Okay.
It's popular.
Popular.
And then that's just because it's so smooth, I picked it up. That's because it's slate.
Yeah.
That caught my eye because of the crazing on it. It's made it very patterned. I thought it was lovely. A W.
Ooh. Oh, is it a
Well, all those M's and W's out there, that's just for you. And two little bits. I think that's two little ammonites together in there.
Yeah, looks like something here.
That's the corner of an ammonite there.
Right. Oh, they're very nice finds. Do you want to see my smooth bit?
Go on then.
My smooth bit.
Oh, very
A big
nice.
chunk of smooth glass.
But I have to be honest, the best find I couldn't bring with me
No?
because he was going that way and he needed to keep going that way, so I couldn't drag him back.
No.
Yeah, his name was Derek, and
Yeah.
he said, "Are you on YouTube?" I think he recognised the hat. In fact, I know he did because I asked him. So there we go. Lovely to meet Derek and have a chat. He's even written some books. He's quite a knowledgeable young gentleman. I got to call him young because he's a year younger than me, and I wouldn't like to think I'm old. So we'll give you more information about that encounter in the live show. But for now, we're heading that way, beyond where we've been in the past. And while we do that, why don't you come with me over to the shed and see what's been going on down there? Welcome back to the shed. The weather here is not quite as nice as it is on the south coast, but I'm inside, so I don't mind. What are we going to do today? Well, I'm going to have a go at doing something with scrap. I'm always saying rust is patina. There's a beauty in the rusty metal that we find. So I'm going to try and put a collection of it together, a representative model of the beauty that can be brought out of these pieces, at least to my eye. Now, I appreciate you may be writing in the comments, that's awful, that's ugly, that's fine. You can't please all the people all the time. And as I said to a mate of mine who was recovering from cancer some time ago, he'd had a lot of surgery done down through his throat, and he was a public speaker, and he was going out to speak for the first time, and he said, "Phil, I hope I can do it. I hope the people enjoy it." I said, "All you have to remember, mate, is at least if you're enjoying it, someone's having a good time, and that means it's not a waste of time. So I hope I'm going to enjoy this, and if I like it, That's good. If you like it, that's brilliant. But the only way to find out is let's make it. So we're going to take some scrap, including this lock plate that I found today, and we're going to put it together and see what we come up with. Well, I'm pleased with this. I like the way it's turned out, bringing together the old lock that we once found down on the dump, and then this back piece to support it. I believe that came from Lyme Regis, as did the lock plate today, and of course the fossils that I've used. And taking this character here, who is obviously of a much earlier age, because people have been collecting fossils down there for so long, and then replacing his head with an ammonite, I think it just all comes together. And there you have it. Well, as I say, I like it. Hope you like it too. But now we'd better get back over and see if I can find that elusive fossil down there on Lyme Regis Beach.
Oh look, it's one of those. No idea what one of those is, but I found one. I might be able to do something with that. Not sure, but I think I'll pop it in my bag. But I won't pop that in my bag. A bit of a string off something. I'm assuming a car, because I assume everything's off a car. This looks quite like a lunar landscape in one sense. At least a wasteland. Post-apocalyptic even. That is. No idea. Let's have a look at some of the metal bits that we got here. Now I like that. I think that will make a good Christmas tree. Put it on a rock. It's the right shape. Bit heavy for me to carry, and I've lost Phil. He's miles away, he's been wandering. Let's have a look what we've got here. We've got a bit of pipe and a bit of bar, and a Cessna aircraft flying somewhere. What have we got here? Oh, it's heavy. Oh, it's a major piece of engineering. Let's spot something up here, which I think is another piece of angle iron. Oh yes. I would go as far as saying, in my technical capacity of knowing nothing, that it's reinforced angle iron. But I am amazed how little metal there is on the beach this time. What have we got here? Some sort of hook system for holding things on the wall or holding a door shut, something like that. You could use it as a coat hanger, or you could put a piece of doweling in there, hang a towel from it. And lots of bits of glass, more metal. One of those, and then some nice bits of crockery, glass, more crockery. Look at all this. A lot of this is freshly smashed. You've got to be very careful. Oh, what's this? Oh, I love that. That's a bit of old wire rope. And it's rusted and rusted away to nothing. It reminds me of some sort of licorice or aniseed twist sweet. I think I'm going to keep that. Got more bar. More bigger bar. A melted bottle top. Oh, is this a little bit of ammonite? Yep, a little tiny piece of ammonite there, and a bit of ammonite fossil there too. Oh, they're nice, a very sensible size to carry home, those. Oh, I thought that was a bit of horseshoe, but it isn't. And what do you know, some metal strapping, bit of bar, and another bit of bar. And now the helicopter's coming over. Very noisy on the beach this afternoon. He's in the distance. Let's have a little look here. We've got this. This is really heavy. I'm imagining some sort of cog many years ago before it rusted to death. Lots of little bits of plate like that. I mean, metal plate, not plates as you things reach off. A big chunk of iron. Oh, that's nice. It's a copper hinge and it's still working. Oh, I've got to keep that. And another piece of copper. Not sure what that is. And another piece of copper. Oh, yep. I'll take those. One of those. And a bit of the handle off a bucket. If it had a bucket, it could have a hole in it. But there's not even enough bucket to have a hole. Hello, Mr. Johnson.
Hello.
What have you found?
I'm having to sit down.
On a very large rock.
Yes, this place is well equipped for sitting down. My treasures.
Ooh, let's have a look.
Look at this. Look at these.
Right, let's get my shadow out the way because these are too important to hide.
Beautiful
Oh
slag
wow,
glass.
look at that.
Lovely slag glass. Something in that, I think. I was just saying to a gentleman now, that bit of molten glass, burnt in a fire, washed in the sea for half a century, and look at that. Gorgeous. Lovely, isn't it?
It's very nice.
This one's a sort of green, but seems
It's
to
a
be...
paler green, isn't it?
Looks like green and white melted together and
there's
red.
a bit of brown.
So I'm thinking either a few things got broke or it was something that was multicoloured.
Could have been.
How does that look up in the sun?
Very nice find. Ooh, there's a bee. I don't know if you could hear him. He's right by my ear. Or
And
ear,
a
depending
few-
on where you're from.
A few more there, and then obviously
Lovely
bits of slate
stories. Yep.
and some lovely bits of glass.
Yeah.
Lovely smooth bits of glass. Then not a lot of coloured, but I picked up
No.
those couple.
Right, I've got a few pieces of green, but not a lot. I think everybody was here before us and beat us to the green.
Now, that's interesting. Just, I feel like I should know what it is. It's probably the base of something.
On the
you're
lid.
fixing.
What else have you got?
What about that piece then?
Oh, right, that is very
That's
thick. It's got a
chunky, but
ridge
it's
in it.
definitely formed because that ridge has got glaze in it.
Right, don't know what that is. Possibly another top lid, possibly not.
Now, it used to be, you can't claim that you've been to Lyme Regis unless you find a fossil. Our searches on this particular area, you can't say you've been here unless you find a spark plug.
Yep, look at that, and lovely and well
Isn't it?
worn.
It's rusted away. All the metal is rusted
Yep.
away, which has left it that lovely, smooth porcelain piece.
In its own way, weird but wonderful.
Yes. And I have a piece in my hand,
All right,
and I don't want you to identify it.
okay,
I think I know what it is,
right,
but I'm going to ask everyone out there what they think and see if they agree with me so they can comment.
right.
So,
Let's have a look.
would you like to show that to the camera?
Right, so it's glass and it's got a circle in the bottom. And it is amber, a gorgeous amber colour.
It is. What do you think it is, folks? See if you agree with me and see if we're right. And when I get home, I'll have a little look at the numbers and letters on the bottom and double check to see if my guess is right and see how many of you agree with me. The clue, I think, is in the flat face. I got one of them.
Oh, a candle holder.
Yeah, instant candle
A
holder.
paintbrush holder.
But I pass many on the beach, but that one is lovely and smooth.
Very heavy though.
I haven't got to do anything to it,
No.
which is kind of the craft I like. Beach craft, folks. It doesn't come easier than this. Then I got some scrap.
Oh, scrap. What scrap have you got? Oh, look at that.
Now that one you can't knock me for.
It's a number 1
Oh
or
no.
a 7.
No, that's a hook to go on my shed.
All right, silly me.
See, 2 holes there. Screw it in and we coat on. Ready, done. Made by nature.
Yep.
My souvenir from Lyme Regis.
And we got this
Yeah, very smooth on the edges. Look at that.
plate of something.
It's come off a boiler or something. I think this possibly came off a similar sort of thing.
Could have done, yep.
And that's the same colour on the other side.
Oh, look at my shadow. You can't see much. The sun is very low today. Yep. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Have you spotted there?
Yes.
Look at that. Lovely ammonite in that piece of rock there. And this little one here, which is quite a substantial amount of it, but it was only a baby one.
And we also have a rather small setup for plain or patterned.
Let's play plain or patterned.
Well, that one doesn't count,
Right, why's that?
because if you do that to it,
Oh, it's two-sided, yeah.
yes, it doesn't help. So
No.
that's going
That's
up there.
banned.
So we've got these.
Right, so I'm going to go for patterned. Plain. I'm going to quick fire round. Patterned. Ridge, is that plain or patterned?
Patterned.
Patterned, one to me. Patterned. Yep. Plain.
Ah,
Wonderful. Patterned. One to me. Oh, one to me. Ha ha ha. Patterned. Yes.
can't win.
One, plain. Oh,
it is plain.
Oh, yes.
It's 5-2.
Oh, well. You put up a great fight.
Thank you. Didn't feel like it. And I got bad news for me too.
What that?
You know this one that was patterned. Just realised it wasn't. I just scraped the pattern off.
No, another one to me.
I got one.
Well done.
Now, I've been pleased to find so many bits of fossil today. That's a nice one, as you say, and that was quite pleasing as well, because that's virtually whole.
Yes, lovely.
But I would like to find a whole one if I can. So I haven't finished yet. I'm going to go on searching. But while I continue the search to try and find a whole fossil that is of a size that I can take home, I must say, why don't you join me at Bridport? Because I mentioned on one occasion how it was here at Lyme Regis the Duke of Monmouth landed when he came to try and overthrow his uncle, King James II, and take over as monarch of the United Kingdom. He wasn't successful, but the first skirmish he had with the militia from the king was just down the road at Bridport. So let's go down there, because while they've named a pub after the Duke of Monmouth here, we can see the pub where one of the troops took a shot out of the window and wounded the Duke's colonel. Here we are at Bridport, a place that has really made its mark down the centuries, and there have been quite a few of those centuries, because there was a place here, a fortified area, commonly known as a burh. It was established by King Alfred the Great in the 9th century, and that was called Brydian, and they believe that Bridport took its name from that early fortified settlement In the 10th century, the then King of England was reputed to have been the first King of England. He commissioned Bridport as a place that was given the right and the permits to actually mint coins. So that really put them on the map and meant that they were probably a major trading place at this point in time. But like so many parts of the England and Wales and beyond, they saw some troubled times when the Normans arrived. Yes, we're back 1066. In fact, the Domesday Book records that Bridport in 1066 had 120 houses. But in 1086, they noted that there were only 100 houses and 20 properties were in such poor repair and so neglected that they were not able to pay tax. So it had fallen on tough times, as had some other areas in this part of the world, as locals resisted the new Norman conquerors. But their fortunes certainly changed. In the early 13th century, 1211, King John, concerned about the imminent possibility of war with the French, decided that he wanted the people of Bridport to turn out rope, and as much as possible, for the Navy. That was the thinking, and this was the location they wanted the work to be done. Yes, rope was going to be the thing that really put Bridport on the map. In fact, there's a pub named after that very fact here on the beautiful High Street. And 2 years after that first commission for ropes to be made, in 1213, King John made this decree that there be made at Bridport by night and day as many ropes for ships, both large and small, as they could. The demand was on. They needed the rope, and here was the place that had the skill set to produce it. And produce it they did. And the quality and the quantity was a contributory factor to the king's ability to take on the French. And he wasn't the only monarch that was impressed with Bridport when it came to rope making, because Henry VIII actually made a declaration that Bridport, or within 5 miles of the town, all rope for the English Navy was to be produced. Nowhere else. It was a temporary order, but it did them the power of good, because it stayed in place for about 60 years. And it wasn't just the Navy that took on board the quality of the ropes that were made here, because in 1966, at that famous World Cup final that England won, the goal nets were made here at Bridport. And as well as that, the nets at the Wimbledon Tennis Club are also made from rope produced down here. And perhaps a little more sombre connection with the ropes made at Bridport was an old saying, killed by the Bridport dagger, which simply meant that they'd gone to the gallows and seen the end of their days. But as well as a public house that makes note in its name of the connection with the rope production here at Bridport, there are also a couple of other public houses here that have their claim to fame. The Bull, that is where the first conflict took place in the uprising led by the Duke of Monmouth. He wanted to overthrow his uncle, King James II, and seize control of England. He wasn't successful, and on that first skirmish there was a shot taken from one of the windows at the Bull pub, which is now bricked up, and it hit one of the officers that had come to stand and fight with the Duke of Monmouth. Fortunately for Colonel Venner, he was only wounded, and he managed to make his escape to the Netherlands, something that wasn't going to be an opportunity for many of the others who took that stand and lost at the end of the day. And there's another local connection with a pub called the Old King George. And there's another pub in the town, or at least it was a pub, it's not anymore. And it was in there, the Old George Inn, that Charles II, on his return to fight for his father's throne, as his father, Charles I, had been beheaded by Cromwell. After the Battle of Winchester, which he lost to Cromwell, he made his way to Bridport and was almost trapped and caught by the parliamentary troops while at the Old George Inn. The Old George Inn in the early 1800s was converted to a chemist by a local man, and he had invented an ointment known as the poor man's friend. And later it got converted for other purposes and is currently a charity shop. So there's a great deal of interest and history here in this place. History that you can see all around you. And it is so fascinating to think of those who walked these streets, those who enjoyed this area, those who made their mark here. And of course, the rope that was made here that made such a difference. Out there at sea, in the time of battle, and also 1966 at the World Cup final. Well, that's enough history for now. So we're going to head back and see if I have any joy trying to find that fossil there on Lyme Regis Bay.
I found something embedded in the mud. Now, I don't know if it's whole, and I don't know if I can get it out. Oh, look at that. No, it's not whole. Yes, I can't get it out. Oh, I thought it was the whole thing then. What's this? Wonder if that's fossilised bone. Seems to have some holes in it, so I think it could well be. But I'm not sure. What do you reckon? Is that fossilised bone or just another rock?
Right, I still haven't found the fossil that I want, but I have found some bits and pieces.
Oh, so lots of glass.
Look at that. I
Oh,
like
that's
the way
nice.
the heat.
Yeah, probably a wine glass or something. It got melted in the fire.
See the top of the bottle?
Hoopla.
It's gone
Yeah.
over
Overall.
it. There's a little cup handle, I would imagine.
Yeah. Very nice.
These two pieces, I love the way, see the rippled effect? If you hold that up to the sun, and I think it must be the temperature did that to the bottle.
Distorted it all. Very
Yeah, and
nice.
it's made a very nice effect. And possibly the other side of that lock.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly. I
Could
think
be.
it may be slightly smaller, but I'll take it anyway and we'll find out.
Right.
Let's carry on with my search for a fossil to take home.
Hello, Mr. Johnson. What have you found?
Do I look like a happy boy?
You do.
I look so smug you think I found a brick,
You would think so.
but I haven't.
Oh, right. So what have you found? Oh, that is lovely. It is a brick. It's brick material.
It's a little tile, isn't it?
Yes, from a floor.
Isn't that nice?
That is lovely. That's one of the best finds of the day. I think possibly the best find of the day.
Well, hold that thought, because I may top it.
All right, go on then. It's a rock. Well done. Oh, look at that.
There we
Got
go.
an ammonite in that, and that's a fair size too.
And I think it's pretty whole.
Yeah, looks good, that. Very nice. Nice find, Mr. Johnson.
I'm happy with that. That's coming home with me. Caroline's happy with that. That's coming home with us too. If you've enjoyed this trip to Lyme Regis, check out the link and have a look at other adventures that we've had. And if you have enjoyed being with us today, please give us a thumbs up.
Doing, doing, doing.
And until the next time, have fun. Bye.
Bye.